Welcome to the Shabby And Man podcast. We are partners, parents, podcasters, broadcasters,
and everything else in between. Namaskar, swagatam. It's that time of year again when spring is in the air. Holi hai, Ramzan ka mahina hai, Easter is just around the corner. So it's celebration time. And I hope wherever you are and whatever you're celebrating, you have all the luck, all the blessings, all the duas in the world.
And as you rightly pointed out, it is a time of celebration. The clocks go spring forward, right? Next week. So
in this country, yes.
In this country, so we're going to have more daylight
It's very easy to remember. In spring, they spring forward. In winter,
they fall back.
Yes. In the fall, they fall back.
So we're going to have longer days, and it's going to
problem है हम लोग fall नहीं बोलते, हम लोग autumn बोलते हैं.
हाँ, कोई बात नहीं. Spring forward याद रखो, उसका opposite.
For me, fall means tripping.
Yeah, which you do quite often, verbally and otherwise.
So when I say tripping, I don't mean drug.
As in your hippie days.
Drug-induced tripping. I mean falling down.
Yes. So we're going to have longer days, and it's going to be nice because this is when most of the outdoor things happen. This is where a lot of, outdoor screenings and festivals, and it all kicks off with, I think, Easter. So, wherever you're celebrating, whatever you're celebrating, we hope that it's a fresh new start, as it's meant to be.
Now, I'm not that much into flowers and all, but isn't it time for daffodils?
It is time for daffodils. Daffodils have been around for about a month now, I think. And buttercups and daisies and daffodils and everything kind of really blooming again after the grey of winter finally receding in the background, if at all it does. Saying that...
I was going to say, don't get too excited. It's still quite cold.
No, I know.
It's nippy in the mornings.
I was just looking at the weather forecast for London in the next couple of days, and it dips down to 5 or 6 again. Which is never good news, but it is the way it is. Let's start with one of the biggest stories that obviously has to do with the monarchy, with the UK, and nonetheless it evoked an insane amount of interest all around the world. America, India, you name it, people all over the world joined in.
First of all, the interest has been simmering and generating for the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
With the edited photograph. Why? We're talking about Kate Middleton, of course.
Yeah.
Or rather, not Kate Middleton, but Princess Catherine.
Princess Catherine, the Princess of Wales.
Princess of Wales.
Yeah.
And that photo caused a lot of reaction around the world.
Do you think there might be some listeners who need a backstory here? I don't think so.
I'm going to explain it. I'm going to explain the backstory for everyone. So there were lots of rumors that she hasn't been seen for a month. We know she went in late December, I think, or was it early January, for abdominal surgery.
Yeah.
And they said she needs time, she'll come back Easter time. But, the internet, basically, and the conspiracy theory said, oh my God, that's not her, that photograph is edited, this doesn't look like her, it's a double. So, rumors went haywire.
Yeah.
And day before yesterday, she made a statement saying that she's actually in chemotherapy. She's got the early stages of cancer. We don't know which cancer.
Yeah.
They haven't, the royal palaces have not actually disclosed what it is. So our thoughts are with her. It can't be easy because she's very young. She's only 42.
She's 42. She has 3 kids.
3 young kids.
Yeah.
Cancer is a very cruel disease. It comes...
Yeah.
hurtling at you from nowhere. Doesn't matter who you are.
So I think, absolutely, everybody's thoughts are with
There's
her, with her
terrible
family.
statistic somewhere that eventually 1 in 2 people actually end up with cancer in this country, which is frightening.
Yeah. And I think the whole world kind of heaved a collective sigh of relief when we found out that, as in when we were given the facts straight from the princess's mouth, but also, again, the very next minute, everybody's thoughts and prayers were with her and her family. Because to explain this to young children, besides the fact that she herself is only 42, to be able to explain that to your young children, and as many women were saying, that to be given a diagnosis of cancer is debilitating enough for you and your family, but then to announce it, but then to be put in a position where you have to announce it to the world, where the world is going to sit in judgment, is a completely horrific.
That's a whole other topic, because her father-in-law, the king, has also got cancer.
Yeah.
Now, his strategy was to talk about it straight away.
Yes.
And say, I've got prostate cancer, whatever.
And they're saying that, by the way, the two of them are very close.
Yeah. So there's a lot of people saying that maybe she should have announced it earlier.
Yeah.
Instead of all the speculation. Other people saying, no, it's absolutely right and justified.
Yeah.
She needed time.
And it's even strange that she should say, why are people so curious about her life anyway? It should have been left up to her to decide whether she wanted to disclose this or not. Why did people suddenly start speculating for no reason when she had already told them in Jan that she would not be seen for public engagements until Easter? So there's a bit of a blame on the extremely nosy tabloid culture in this country.
It really has dominated worldwide news. Even my mum, who's in India at the moment, mom and dad, they said, what's happening? So all we read about, this is 1 or 2 days before she made the announcement. So it's really making news headlines.
Yeah, it is. And I think, like most people are saying, that obviously she's handled it really well. And we're hoping that she would now be given the time that she needs to recover and rest. And again, people are thinking about her young children as well, because, I'm sure they're not the age where they're reading newspapers or reading articles or really looking at what social media is saying about their mum or how this has panned out. Nonetheless, it's a young family, and I think they need their privacy at this time.
But I hate the way that the British press also is having a go at Meghan Markle. I mean, she has, from her side, she sent a message, a personal message, but still some of these papers say, oh, look at the grace she has and she doesn't have, and it's just, that's terrible. That I don't like.
Yeah, that's true. What else did we want to talk about? A lot of big global news coming out of Britain this week, or rather this month. James Bond was in the headlines.
Well, it's not been confirmed, but there were rumors that Aaron Taylor-Johnson might be the next Bond. But
he's an actor who I'd never heard of, but then you reminded me that we saw something with him in it years ago. Or we read about him years ago.
He was kick-ass. You read about him years ago because he is married to Sam Taylor-Johnson, who's that YBA young British artist. You know the one, Damien Hirst, Gavin Turk. I think she once did that film where she had David Beckham sleeping. And then she became a filmmaker, and he was in her first movie, the one about the Beatles, Nowhere Man. But I think what really made headlines was that when they got married, he was like 22, 23. She was nearly 45. So she was, of course, once married to Jay Joplin, who was the guy who started all this YBA and all these art galleries. But anyway, that's a different story. So,
do you see him as the next Bond?
I haven't really seen much of his movies.
I have no idea what he looks like.
I know he was recently in Bullet Train with Brad Pitt, isn't it? So it was a hit, that movie. Yeah. But I haven't actually seen that movie, so I reserve my judgment when I see something that he's in.
Do you reckon he might be in a web series or something? Because why would he suddenly be the front runner for a role as iconic as Bond? Because when there was
Daniel Craig was not famous when he was just a TV star. So same way, they don't probably want someone that famous. So my heart, I would much rather have Henry Cavill, or I would have Idris Elba, or James Norton from Grantchester as the next Bond, preferably. But let's see. We don't know who Daniel Craig was, but he worked out well.
Yeah, that's true. And Bond movies get made, every 3-4 years, right?
Yeah, the last one took a long time to make.
Yeah.
Maybe because of COVID and other things, but it didn't open for a long, long time.
Yeah.
No Time to Die. That was the one, wasn't it?
Yeah. And people had mixed reactions.
No, it was a hit.
It was a hit, but then a lot of people had a lot of comments to make about, the conclusion, the end, and all of that. But what else? What else have you been looking at?
Talk about Bond. So you're looking forward to this new Bond, or you don't know about this?
I don't know enough about him, so I don't really care.
So did you not care about the first Casino Royale when Daniel Craig came in, because you knew nothing about Daniel Craig?
But I loved the film, so then obviously I became a Daniel Craig fan. In fact, Daniel Craig might just be my most favorite Bond ever. But you're right.
I really used to that Daniel Craig is buying a house, or he has a house, he's getting it renovated very close to us.
Oh.
Yeah. Though he lives in LA or so whatever, but when they come back here, him and Rachel Weisz.
Yeah.
So that's nice. Now, let's talk about Ed Sheeran.
Yeah.
Yeah? You want to talk to him?
Let's talk. Yes, let's talk about Ed Sheeran. Ed Sheeran was all over the place because he was in Mumbai.
He went to do a concert in Mumbai for one day.
Yeah.
But the build-up, I think the fact that he sung, Diljit Dosanjh came on stage and sung with him was all over the place, wasn't it?
Not just that, he was seen jamming at Shah Rukh Khan's house.
Now, this is where I have a
private audience.
No, but this is where I have a slight problem, that Bollywood goes kind of crazy when anyone comes to town. Do you remember when Naomi Campbell came and David Beckham came and then Dua Lipa came and now Ed Sheeran? Dua Lipa.
Yeah.
What did I say?
Dua Lipa.
Ah, close. But she was in Rajasthan, wasn't she?
Yeah. No, it's true, but Ed Sheeran is a massive star, worldwide. So one can imagine the excitement, but also you're absolutely right. Anyone who got the opportunity to do a little feature with him.
One of our friends did a feature with him, and I believe Kapil Sharma threw a party for him.
Yeah,
and
he
serenaded Shah Rukh Khan
in his house. Not just that, another food blogger that I follow, Sanjot Keer, he's really good. So he did a little cooking video with Sanjot Keer making vada pav for the first time. So obviously anyone who was anyone.
Ed Sheeran, poor guy, really busy.
Yeah,
he has to run around.
But he really seemed to enjoy it.
That's true. He seems to be he comes across as a really nice guy.
Yeah,
and he's always been like that.
And you said that this was just one leg of his world tour, right?
Yeah. He said next time he comes, he's going to play other cities as well.
Yeah, Diljit Dosanjh is clearly the popular man to hire as a celebrity who is willing to collaborate with other celebrities, because he was the big name at the Ambani pre-wedding thing as well. And
not as big as Rihanna.
Not as big as Rihanna, but then he got all the Bollywood stars up on stage and got them dancing and singing.
Is he in that movie, The Crew?
He's in The Crew as well, but his
he got them all singing, didn't he?
He got Kareena and everybody else dancing on stage with him, but his big one is out in 2 weeks' time on Netflix, which is the biopic of Punjabi pop star Amar Singh Chamkila, who was brutally assassinated with his wife and other crew member, and it is a mystery that has never been investigated or solved. And I believe this man was really quite an iconic pop star in the 80s, where he would sell out, arenas
in Punjab.
And he would talk about everyday things, but he often sang songs with double meaning, which again the crude Punjabis really loved. But nonetheless, it was...
Sorry, he's taking a dig at me.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying that he really spoke the people's language, and he really touched their hearts. And it's amazing that they never got to the bottom of who killed him and why. And that is why, obviously, he became even more of a cult figure. And for Imtiaz Ali to go back to the drawing board and piece the story together.
Imtiaz Ali?
It is Imtiaz Ali. Piece the story together to get Diljit to play Chamkila, to get Pariniti Chopra to play his wife.
Imtiaz Ali is that Jab We Met wala?
Jab We Met, Rockstar, Highway, same guy. So it's a big one. I want to see it. We haven't sat down and watched something together for ages, but I think I would like to watch this, because
I heard you've got a special preview to see Hiramandi.
Yes, a couple of episodes. So only a few of us got contacted by Netflix and by the team, but they're all English names that have got in touch with me. Although it says Netflix India, they're all English names. So they said that we would like you to review it for us, but the terms and conditions of the embargo run into about 6 pages of that email, that you're not allowed to talk about this, because I know now how many episodes, when it's dropping, what the titles of the episodes are, which are a bit of a giveaway, what the characters are called, I know all of that. But I think we will be also shown about 2 episodes of the preview, 2 episodes as a preview. But I
remember so many. You were also invited, but you didn't go to that. Remember Citadel came out?
Yes.
Everyone went to see the first 2 episodes.
Yeah. So this is pretty much it.
I don't know. Maza nahi aata usme. You either see the whole thing, or you...
No, but then it tells you what the setting is. It gives you an idea. It gives you an idea of whether you wanted to watch further or not. And again, Sanjay Leela Bhansali is rounded up an ensemble which looks absolutely phenomenal. All of these ladies are fantastic actresses in their own right.
I know Manisha Koirala is in it, Aditya Rai is in it, who else is in it?
Swara Bhaskar is in it, Sanjida Sheikh, then his own niece, I forget her name, so many of them, Sonakshi Sinha is there, so many of them, and
who's the male star? Any male star?
There are quite a few. I think Imran Hashmi is in it as well, and there's somebody else. But
so you're looking
the men obviously, but the men obviously play a secondary role. And this is about, for those who don't know, although enough has been written about it. It is about...
It's a real place, isn't it?
It is a real place in Lahore. You can call it a red light district, but this is harking back to the time when courtesans weren't just sex workers. They had a say in... They indirectly had enough sway to be able to control the politics and the social norms of the time.
This is sounding a bit like Gangubai.
It is a bit like Gangubai. In fact, funny you should say that.
That is also Sanjay Leela Bhansali.
Because not just Sanjay Leela Bhansali, that is one chapter from a Hussain Zaidi book. And one of the other chapters.
Who is Hussain Zaidi?
He's an author.
Right.
And it is one chapter from a book which he made a whole film on. Gangubai was just one character in one of the chapters.
It's a famous author.
Mafia Queens of Mumbai. Yeah, famous author. So I believe, obviously he's going back to a time when India and Pakistan were one and the same country. So that's why Lahore. And, to give a reference, I suppose, it would be a bit like Rekha's character in Umrao Jan, who is, again, you can very cruelly look at it and say that they're just sex workers, but they're not. They're people who are well versed in shairi and kathak, and they really know how to... They have all the social etiquettes and all
this phrase, sex worker? You mean prostitutes?
Prostitutes, yeah. But it's a politically correct term, I think. So, Hiramandi, I think, looks quite interesting.
Talking about Lahore, didn't recently the houses of Rajkumar and Dilip Kumar and all become like museums or something?
Yeah, they did.
Where are they?
They're in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, which is in Peshawar.
Peshawar.
Yeah. So they've now decided to make them into museums. Apparently the dispute had been on for many, many years. But now the Pakistani government has restored it, and in the coming months, they hope to turn first Dilip Kumar and then Rajkumar's house into a proper museum as a shrine, an ode to two of Bollywood's biggest giants, I suppose, who both happen to be from the same neighborhood. How amazing is that? What a coincidence.
Pakistan se aata hai. This is what a year this is for elections. There were elections in Pakistan. There's going to be elections in India in April.
Yeah.
Or is it May?
April, May, sometime in the summer.
Yeah. There are going to be elections most probably in this country, UK, this year sometime.
Yeah.
I think Rishi Sunak is trying to push it as far back as possible.
But I think Jan is the furthest that he can go.
Yeah, after Jan, you have to have elections before Jan the 25th or something.
Yeah.
There's mayoral elections next month here.
Yeah.
And elections have just happened in Russia.
It is a big year for
there's
democracy.
Going to be, and of course, there's going to be the American elections at the end of this year.
I was just going to say,
which is a big one.
It is a big year for democracy, but then Russia hardly qualifies as a democracy. Also, staying with Lahore for just a bit longer, another film that I would really love to watch once it comes out is Rajkumar Santoshi's film Lahore 1947, produced by Amir Khan.
I was just going to say Amir Khan is produced.
Sunny Deol and Preeti Zinta in the lead, and Shabana Azmi playing a Hindu matriarch with one of those big Havelis in Lahore who refuses to give up her home and move to this side of the border after partition. So I think it sounds interesting.
It sounds like Veer Zara to me.
Which was the last film Rajkumar Santoshi and Amir Khan collaborated on as director and actor?
Raja Babu?
No.
I
don't even know if that's the right answer. One of your favorites, Andaz Apna Apna.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I like that movie.
So
many times they've decided they're going to make a sequel to it, or they're going to
do a remake.
Put a new younger cast in.
Yeah.
But I think don't mess with... If it ain't fixed, don't...
That's what even he says.
Broke, rather, don't fix
even
it.
Rajkumar... No, I think he started making something with a completely new cast, just calling it Andaz Apna Apna 2, but other than that, having absolutely nothing in common with the first film. But I think he saw the
follies of his way.
He kind of gave up the idea before he got slated for it. He decided to not go any further, not pursue it anymore.
But saying that, sometimes 20 years later, movies do well.
Yeah, they're there too.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, absolutely.
They had the same cast in it, didn't they?
They had the same cast, and it was actually a continuation of what the first film talked about. Just dive.
There's another one as well, which I can't remember. Another Bollywood film is going to be made very soon, which is
many years later. I can't remember the name. You're right. There's another one which is going to be a sequel to that. But so there is a lot to look forward to in the entertainment landscape. But I think, as you're saying, politically, it's a big year for some of the biggest countries in the world. So will we finally be talking about politics, or I'm not sure. Of course, we'll be mentioning what happens, at least in this country and in America and in India, the three countries we're most concerned about. Because America rules the world, Britain is where we live, and India is my home. for those reasons precisely. Until that happens, we continue to talk about it.
Really, no logic there.
Why? You want to know who the American president is because essentially they lay down the rules for the rest of the world to follow. Britain is where we live, so naturally we are interested in whether our candidate makes it or not. Our party, we're not revealing which party, of course.
Totally on, not on a different subject, but talking about, as you talked about the British government, were you not invited to some
Iftari event?
Iftari event?
I was.
Yeah.
I was, where some big names, big politicians.
Very political one.
Yeah, were due to make an appearance. But this is, as you pointed out in the introduction, the holy month of Ramzan. We are more or less at the midpoint because Holi is always on a full moon and Holi is just hours away.
Actually, I want someone to actually write in to us and explain to me exactly what the difference is between Ramzan and Ramadan. It's the same thing, isn't it?
It's the same word, of course.
Is it?
It's two words for the
Because
same.
now I hear everyone say Ramadan.
We say Ramzan in India.
I know, I hear everyone say Ramadan now.
Yeah.
Very few people say Ramzan, so I was saying maybe I got
in
it
India
wrong all this time.
No, in India we grew up saying Ramzan, so I'm sure it's just one of those things. People in different parts of the world,
like Papa and Papadom.
yes, may have a slightly different accent or spelling, but it's of course the same thing. Which I think brings us to
a close.
the end of the podcast.
We just about brings us to the end. Anything you want to say?
Yeah, that if you follow Bollywood, then you will know that one of the biggest social events on the calendar happens to be an iftari party, which is thrown by a Maharashtra politician called Baba Siddiqui.
Yes, every year.
Every year. It has all the big names
Didn't
that you can imagine.
1 or 2 years ago there was a fight between Salman and Shah Rukh, and
Well,
he
you
kind of
listen to my show very carefully, I
kind
have
of-
to say. Patch them up. Yeah. No.
I don't give you a show credit. These are things I know
No.
from the internet.
No, I know, but that's where, see, you're the king of half-baked knowledge in that case. He didn't patch them up. It was at his iftari party that Amir Khan got Salman and Shah Rukh to finally sit down and talk to each other.
You said this on your show,
I did.
so that proves that I didn't hear your show.
Well, there you go. So, Baba Siddiqui's iftari party should be happening very soon. I read something brilliant about, I don't know whether to reveal it here or whether to keep it for my show for tomorrow. I may as well reveal it here.
Well, you think your audience overlaps?
I'm sure it does. I'm pretty sure it does. I read
fool
something
yourself.
brilliant about the times when two people, okay, let's see if you know this, two Bollywood megastars were known for their lavish, extravagant, opulent Bollywood parties. Who do you think they were? This was in the 70s and the 80s.
One would be one of the Khan brothers, like Feroz Khan or Sanjay Khan.
Incorrect.
Raj Kapoor.
Raj Kapoor is the first one.
All right.
And the second one is a very obvious one if you think about Bollywood and Holi. Holi party, yeah?
Holy party.
I did say Holi party, right?
No, you just said a lavish Bollywood party.
No, Holi party.
Devanand?
No.
Rajesh Khanna?
No. Which is the first actor that comes to mind when you think of Bollywood's
Amitabh
biggest Holi song?
Amitabh Bachchan.
Rang Barse, yeah.
But Amitabh Bachchan was not that big.
No, but they said that Amitabh Bachchan's Holi party in Pratiksha and Raj Kapoor's Holi party in RK Studios were legendary. If you weren't invited, then you hadn't made it. But they said that when Amitabh Bachchan's parents fell ill and his mother was severely ill first, that's when he kind of completely stopped, virtually overnight. And Raj Kapoor's, of course, it's a case of, he passed away, then his brothers got kind of...
There's no huge Shah Rukh Khan party or Salman Khan party.
So that's what they're saying, that gone are the days when you'd look forward to these iconic parties where it was the done deal. Everybody knew that Raj Kapoor or Amitabh Bachchan, I'm sure that they had an understanding. They wouldn't be throwing it either on the same day or the same year, right? That you knew that this was the place to be. But now it has become more fragmented. Now you might have Shah Rukh throwing a mini party behind closed doors in Mannat. You might have Saif throwing his little one. Bebo and Saif doing their own thing. Now it's become a lot more fragmented, and that's what they're saying, that is this the end of opulence and extravagance and really living that film star life and not apologizing for it? It's probably the end, because you don't see those parties anymore. So someone did a beautiful piece on how it was a big event on the social calendar, the RK Holi party and the Bachchan Holi party. I had no idea, obviously it's before our time. So unless and until you read someone talking about it, you wouldn't know. But there you go. Especially Raj Kapoor. You know that. He was known for...
No, I know the Raj Kapoor one. I remember it's come back to me.
Since I did say
huge.
crude Punjabi lyrics when I mentioned Chamkila, let me also mention the other side, Punjabi hospitality and generosity. They said that at Raj Kapoor's party, Krishna Raj Kapoor would take a personal interest in every guest who was on that list. If anybody had any dietary requirements, even back then, if anybody she knew preferred a certain mithai or a laddu or a biryani, and the tables would be laden with food from all corners, and there'd be endless drinking and dancing, and it was quite the place to be. And again, like I said, Punjabi generosity.
Well, talking about Punjabi generosity, I think we've stretched this episode out longer than normal.
Yes.
So it's probably time to say bye-bye. Do you want to tell the people how to get in touch with us? Oh, by the way, I've started doing a lot of stuff now on Instagram. Mm-hmm. I've discovered how we're very new to social media, as you can tell.
How Reels works.
Yeah. So if you go to Instagram and find Shabby And Man podcast or Shabby And Man,
yeah,
you can see a lot of tiny clips.
And of course, we are on Facebook, we are on Twitter as well. Wherever you find your podcasts, please do rate, recommend, review, leave us a comment, and follow us on social media.
Till next time. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
And happy Holi.